sort of thing. Doesn't play in everything. But here we go. We're getting to our next series, getting into our next matchup. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, the last Zerg player in the tournament. Can he keep the Zerg dream alive for Gaiman Gladiators? It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss representing himself, currently teamless. It is Creator. I don't think there are any EU Zergs who are particularly active. I think I would say Young Yakov. I think Young Yakov might be as active, if not more active than Eba. Hard to say. But Young Yakov, he plays in a lot of stuff. Does play in a lot of stuff. I would say Young Yakov is more active than Wayne. Wayne is a lot more sporadic when it comes to his signups as well. I think I might settle on that. Nickish, yeah, Nickish a little bit as well, true. But now they're going to be settling in. Hatch gas pool, standard opener here out of SHIN. Likewise, Creator going for a gate expand as well. So standard openers all around. Nothing too crazy in the early game. Which is important to point out for SHIN, bearing in mind that even during his series against Traeger, SHIN did go proxy hatch. He is willing to go for some cheeky builds from time to time. Not this time though. As we calm things down. We do calm things down. Rain is still insanely good. Yes, no one is saying otherwise. We're talking about activity when it comes to how active they are or how persistent they are when it comes to competing in online tournaments or online events. For now, they're settling in. Soon be getting into our tech. And Creator, he's typically more of a passive kind of player here. When I think of the Korean Protosses, when I think of players like Trap, Classic, and Hero alongside Creator as well, Creator, he does fall along the more side of like more passive, more defensive kind of play. Does play more towards the mid to late game, typically. So we'll keep an eye on Creator to see if he does deviate from the norm. Of course, welcome one to Ultra Love. Ultra Love being one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Very defendable though is what I will say. There's a ramp coming into the natural. Likewise, we have a choke point coming to the third base. Destructible towers as well. So we do often see a lot of later games here on Ultra Love just because of how defendable the third and fourth base are compared to other maps. So it could be here for a bit of a longer one. Oh, as we settle in, big shout to Kian in the chat. Oh my god, Papi God, thank you so much for some gifted subs to the community. Oh my god, thank you, Papi, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the subs in the chat. Thank you. Thanks to the support that we get in the chat, whether it's through Patreon, whether it's through subscriptions, or we're able to cast as often as we do. Again, here on the CranKy Ducklings, we cast on a daily basis. We were actually live earlier today. So I do apologize for sleeping in a little bit as well, just because it's been a long day. we casted 3 events last night. We casted the Sparkling Tuna Cup into an FFA, into a show match between Hormono and Rebellion. So 3 events back to back to back. And then, of course, today we have WardiTV Monday, into Pegasaur Monday, into OSC Season 12 Championship. So a lot of casting here on the channel, as always. Again, we're live more than any other channel out there. We have all the content, more than Steadfast, Wardi, all the other boys. We have the quantity. We have a little bit of the quality. But thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it, man. As from here, what I appreciate, the Creator, he does often like to do this. He's intentionally banking up the Oracles. He's making it look like a Twilight Council opener here against his opponents. He's making it look like it isn't quite Stargate, but never mind. SHIN did scout. SHIN did confirm with the Overlord. He's fully aware. Oracles move out, but SHIN is ready. Spores are done. Queens are getting positioned. Oracles dive in. They take a lot of hits. Ooh, one Oracle goes down. Massive pickup. Gets one. The other takes a little hull damage. 3 drones. That is not worth it for Creator. Again, Creator, who was hoping to catch SHIN off guard, but the opposite was true instead. So Creator gets shut down. Behind this, going into a Forge, into Twilight Council, +1 on Blink, third base, getting on the way. Standard follow-up. But the initial build was not quite worth it. Meanwhile, Shin is going to be skipping his Roach Warren. No Roach Warren in sight. Baneling Nest instead, going into Ling Bane. As that is a hidden nest here, behind the main. Interesting. We'll see how committed he's going to be. We'll see if this is just for safety, and he's going into Ling Hydra, or if he intends to commit into a Bane Bust or into a Baneling Run-By. Into aggression. Keep an eye on Shin. As Creator is still being active with his first 2 Oracles. Scouts checks the 4th. Moving in towards the 3rd. Oh, Stasis goes down. Gateway explosion on the way. That's a lot of gates. And quickly checking here as well. Yeah, we're getting up to 8 gates. It's going to be a 3-base all in. This makes sense. Creator had a rough start to the game, so we're going to be committing. We're going to be committing here. What we're getting into is no gases. No gases at the 3rd. With no gases, we shouldn't be taking up. It's going to be a War Prism alongside this. Interesting. So typically with a 3-base all in, we'd set up a proxy gateway instead. We'd skip the Robo. We'd have extra Stalkers as a result. This is going to hit a little bit different though. It's going to be a bit of a different push. Different kind of all in. This time with extra sentries, with the Prism. As he moves out, Lings, they move in. Lings don't quite get much, though. They catch reinforcements. 3 Stalkers go down, massive pickoffs. This will delay the push. Yeah, gases are now being taken. Which means Creator, he can start to take out of this. Speaking of taking out, yep, there it is, Bane. We could go into either Storm or Colossus. Double gases into Colossus. So he doesn't have to commit with this, but I mean, he invested so heavily here into 8 gates. And again, this push is delayed. At the same time, Lings, they do run in. No! Hero! Creator doing his best hero impression. The wall is wide open. Lings, they flood into the natural, they flood into the main, and this will delay his push. It forces them back home. Yeah, his forces turn around. Ay, ay, ay. Again, as a reminder, Creator, he committed so much to this attack. He delayed his tech, he delayed his gases, all in favor of the push, and the push just doesn't exist. He's forced back home. 11 probes going down. Shinny buys more time, moving out with his army. Ling Bane Hydra. Another Oracle goes down. Everything's just falling apart here for Creator. And Shin has momentum on his side. Just everything has been delayed. And Shinny's moving in for the kill. Takes down the final Oracle. The Prism dog! Prism does survive, thankfully. But alas, the main army's cut off from the 3rd base. GG gets called as Creator is pulled apart, and Shin will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. An interesting build out of Creator is what I will say. When it came to the execution, I mean, we saw a lot of, did kind of stumble his way into it, unfortunately, losing his Oracles early on. Unfortunately, had no wall off at the natural. Again, Creator, he was intending to push and to commit. That's why he had the War Prism. That's why he had all those sentries. That's why he was out in the center of the map. But we never saw it really come into play here. Unfortunately, he was caught with his pants down. Massive Ling Run-Bys time and time again. Did so well there for Shin. And Creator was torn apart. GG. GG, well played. Shin does take a lead. And now we're getting into game number 2. And hopefully... Okay, we're good. Shall we get a game 2? Gonna be on Whispers of Gold. Let's go. Let us go. As we are loading into a much smaller map here. Whispers of Gold is, I would say, the most aggressive map of the map pool. Smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. Very indefendable 3rd base and 4th base. There's no ramp. Unlike on Ultra Love, there's no ramp. There's no destructible tower. There's no choke point. This map is much more vulnerable, much more aggressive, I should say. And we should be seeing different builds from both players. Let's go. Ideally, we want to take advantage of the map itself. And we'll see if we can force the ace match. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg, representing Gaiman Gladiators, leading the series 1-0. It is Shin. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss. It is Creator. is up against the wall. And we'll see if he can recover. Here we go. And again, welcome one and all to Whispers of Gold. Again, short rush distance by ground. It can be made even shorter here if you knock down these rocks. There are destructible rocks here towards the third bases. So with that, you can commit into something like a German taxi or a Roach Queen walker across the map. Likewise, the third and fourth bases are more exposed. We did mention in the previous map how we have these choke points, we have these destructible towers. Here, they do not exist. There is somewhat of a ramp coming into the triangular third base, but it's also very wide and there are multiple angles of attack. And again, you can knock down those rocks as well. So again, it can be quite difficult here to defend, quite difficult to survive, and as a result we see a lot of 2-base all-ins and a lot of 3-base all-ins on Whispers of Gold. As the map does help you with that, does favor that kind of play. So we'll keep an eye on our players. Goes both ways. Again, we saw attempted aggression from Creator last game, but he wasn't quite able to get it into full swing. See how we do adjust. For now, Hatch Gas Pool, Standard Opener. Likewise, Gate Expand into Cybercore. Openers looking as they should. We can settle it. We go. Once again, Stargate open out to Creator. This time he's rallied across the map. If you remember last game, Creator, he was banking up his 2 Oracles to try to catch Shin off guard, but due to Shin's overlord positioning, I mean, he was ready for it anyway. This time, doesn't try to bank anything up, does rally. So again, a much more standard setup by Creator. Go. Adepts they shade out, they get eyes on the third. They can threaten some shades. 2 Adepts they can one-shot drones, so Shin has to keep up. And so far he is. Like I say, keep up with the Adepts. Anyone know why Wardi isn't casting his own tournament this morning? I'm not too certain. Hopefully everything's okay. But usually I would imagine that maybe something has come up. It's very possible that Wardi might do a replay cast at a later date. We usually give out replays to Wardi after the event, so maybe covering it later. He may also gain replays from some of the other casters from some of the other portions of the brackets. Like, for example, we weren't able to cast Gubiho versus Clem, and I'm sure that's a banger of a series. So as long as, I think Koga was casting that. If Koga was covering that, and if Koga gives replays to Wardi, then we could see a replay cast from that, you know, tomorrow or on a later day. I'm sure it'll keep us informed. As it say shade in, they get a drone. Oracle still poking forward. Behind this is our standard follow-up, Twilight Council, Forge after the third base, everything looking normal. And thankfully this time Creator, he does not lose his first Oracle. He's like, we're good. We're solid. Oracles are looking for a way in. They threaten to dive. So far, Shin is keeping up. Behind this, we have a Roach Warren this time. As a reminder, last game, I don't think we even got a safety Roach Warren. It's just straight up Ling Bane into Hydra. This time, Shin is playing a little bit safer. I mean, we spoke earlier about how aggressive you can be on Whispers of Gold, so skipping the Roach Warren can be a little bit risky at times. As 2 drones go down. Catching out 2 workers. Not a bad start. Evo Chamber's done. We'll see if we invest into range or into melee. Our eyes are on Shin. As it is going to be range. Okay, we may just commit here into Roach Hydra or just straight up Roach Ravager. Yeah, range on the way, Roach speed as well. We'll see if Shin does saturate his 4th. That's what I'm most curious in. Right now, he's on a 3-base economy. Knocking down those rocks. And he's massing up roaches. Let's go. We spoke earlier, you can knock down these rocks, you can just reduce the time it takes to get across the map. Reduce that rush distance. And Shin, he's about to be online. He's about to be aggressive. Likewise, Creator, he pokes out. It's so important that Creator, he slows down this army. Slows down the push. Takes all both of his gases. Second Robus on the way, going double Robot Colossus. Oh my god. But he needs time. Creator, he needs time for those Colossi. Setting up stasis traps. Clearing up creep. Delaying the push. Lings are coming from behind. Roaches are still building up. We have Overlord speed on the way. And Lings, they do hit that mineral line. They take down one of the shield batteries. And with Overlord speed, I would imagine we're going to be getting ready here for a Queen push alongside this for Jobber Lords. Stasis traps are still set up. Yeah, speaking of Jobber Lords, yep, here they come. Jobber Lords are on the way. Lings, they get eyes on the 4th. Not able to get much done. Colossus production has begun. And as a reminder, Shin, he is going for a 3-base all-in. He has not droned up that 4th base whatsoever. So straight up all-in here from Shin, which is what we assumed when we saw +1 range. And here he comes. Stasis gets baited. There's 2 more stasis traps. 3 more even. But no major connections. It's all or nothing for Shin. Does commit. Disruptor has arrived. He has potential. Up. Never goes up. Shinny pulls away. Takes an over to the face. Queens have made it. And Shinny's going for the kill. Piles don't quite connect. Queen spreading creep. Again, the first Colossus is on the way. But Shinny's getting into the mineral line. Piles like, oh my god, they do shut down the Stalkers. Stalkers fall. Disruptor as well. 21 probe kills at the same time. Drop into the main. Yeah, Creator, he was distracted. Workers going down left and right. And Shin, he's done it. He's broken the 3rd. Colossus too little too late. It's busy in the main. GG gets called. And Shin,